if the road to our hybrid workplace is kind of paved, we kind of see three major things to think about. And now, again, each organization is going to be unique. Some organizations are going to look at the work site and say, you know what, there are specific roles that really could work less than 50% from home, some roles that could work more than 50% from home. And so it's important to understand that this is a very nuanced discussion.
Lead is a remote-first company based out of Canada.
What makes a world-class Microsoft 365 intranet and digital workplace?
We have seen a growing number of customers make a clear statement for certain roles or certain types of groups that, hey, our intention, our plan, our direction is that you will be able to work, less or more than 50% from home or less than 50% from home as a standard. So if you wish to do that, if you wish to continue what you've been doing, and still have the workplace when it makes sense or on whatever rhythms that make sense to you and your manager and those who are working with you, then you can absolutely do that. We want to support it and continue to support it as a model going forward. And so there's a lot of policy work and planning and communication and leadership direction that's necessary there. On the work hours side, it's also really important to have flexibility, right? We know that flexibility is here to stay. A lot of us, we've seen our own employee base start to shift as well, where a lot of employees have moved during this crisis that we've experienced. There's a growing number of people who live in, lower cost of living areas or who've moved, to coasts or other places, further away from where, maybe your work center is, where your workplaces are. And so having options where your time zones are going to be required to work across more time zones, where people's own schedules are going to be a little bit more in flex, and we need to respect and support that. That's going to become a more prominent thing as well. Again, assuming the manager and the employees in those groups all agree with those expectations. And then, there's also these discussions about, new limits of where employees can work. So especially when you think about privacy, security, there's definitely some rules that we need to have that are much cleaner and clearer for employees that aren't as rushed as the way we've been working, so that, they're not necessarily, having very confidential calls in, either a public space or inside of their own home in a more public space where other people who shouldn't be hearing about those things are hearing about it. So there's a whole lot of discussions that need to be worked on there. So we provide services in Microsoft 365, everything related to SharePoint, extranets, intranets, things like that. We have Nielsen Norman award winners on our team. So a lot of that is a little bit of what we'll discuss today. So like making sense of it, organizing it, optimizing it, templating it, doing things like that, especially building on it as a platform. If you have questions on any of these topics, please feel free to reach out. I'm super friendly and I want this to be the start of the conversation.